So, if you want to be a better public speaker or even just a better presenter in general, there's one thing that you need to do, and that is practice in public. This is a sport that you can't get right in the rehearsal room. And if you want to practice in public, there's probably no easier way to do that than at Toastmasters International. Now, is it a perfect organization? Well, there's one or two things that I dislike about it. And I'm going to talk about that in this video, and along with answering the question, should you join it? So stick around. Hey, welcome to Lead Loud. My name is Richard Mulholland. I'm the founder and chief evangelist of Presentation Powerhouse Missing Link. Now, one question I get asked a lot by people is, do I rate Toastmasters International? Now, what am I talking about when it comes to Toastmasters? Am I talking about this guy here? Absolutely not. And the reason is anybody who makes a slice of toast that looks this insipid gets like, I don't know, a force punch on them. There's absolutely not toast.
You have failed me for the last time.
No, but the Toastmasters I'm talking about today is the organization for presentation and public speakers, Toastmasters International. Okay, now, it's an incredible organization where you kind of go there to get the reps in. You will be speaking, you'll be analyzing other presenters. There's a bunch of different roles that you can take when you join a meeting, and all of these will make you a better presenter. And again, there's almost no reason not to. There's over 300,000 members worldwide. There's in 149 countries and in 15,800 clubs. There's definitely someone or a club that you can find near you.
Just do it!
And in fact, all of this is for the cost of less than like a Big Mac meal. Like, it's super cheap every month. A Big Mac meal a month. It's super cheap and there's no good reason not to do it. However, I mentioned at the front end that I don't think it's perfect. And I don't. And there is one kind of little caveat I have, and that is that ultimately, in the end, I kind of feel like all Toastmasters speakers start looking like Toastmasters speakers. So I'm going to show you 3 clips now from 3 different Toastmasters speeches, and we can kind of watch them together, and then I'll tell you a little bit about what I think. So let's check them out.
Hey loser, how do you like your new school uniform? I think it looks great on you.
The punches, jabs, and hooks will come in the form of challenges.
When Brandon takes off his shoes during the ceremony, Devika's bridesmaids will try to steal them. The groomsmen protect the shoes from the bridesmaids. If they win, they hold the shoes ransom.
So, what do they all have in common? Well, there's a couple of things. The first is that every single one of those was a world champion of public speaking winning presentation. They were the world champion, the world's best public speaker, according to Toastmasters. Now, the second thing they all have in common for me is that they all sound over-rehearsed and overwrought. Where if I was to get onto stage, I would never want to, like if I watch a speaker, I never want to see a speaker present like that. This, hey, right, let's talk, ladies and gentlemen, about a thing that happened to me just the other day.
This 11-year-old bird chest screamed, "Superstar."
Nobody likes that. Nobody wants that in a speaker. What do people look for in a speaker? Well, I believe that every audience has a great authenticity detector. And what they're looking for is a speaker who is basically on stage being the best version of themselves. You want to be best version of self whenever you present. So it's you, but it's you amplified. It's you as you would be in a normal conversation, but a little bit louder and a little bit more animated. The way I like to describe it to people is I want you to imagine you're at a dinner party. So you had all your friends around you and you were telling stories and you were being animated. Your eyes were lighting up and you were telling a story and it was amazing. And it was a real thing that happened to a bunch of people because this guy fell down in front of you. It was incredible. And everybody feels like they're having a conversation with you and they're enjoying it because they can feel that it's real. Well, on stage, what you want to be is dinner party you. You want to be that version of yourself, the animated, like face big storytelling version of yourself that you would be at a dinner party.
Can you just simmer down?
No,
Seriously.
I'm just making people laugh.
No.
Have you imagined walking to a dinner party and say like, hey, I want to tell you a story about this thing that happened the other day. This guy walked out and he stopped and he looked at this.
I love your dress.
What? Nobody would do that. Like, nobody ever presents like that. And in fact, in a general audience setting, that's not what people want. Now, while I'm giving a lot of crap to what I'm sure I'm very, very accomplished speakers delivering presentations that I didn't enjoy, there is a caveat that I need to say, and that is this, that I'm pretty certain that all of those presenters understand that Toastmasters is both a lesson, but it's also a sport. And there they were competing in the sport of Toastmasters, and the sport of Toastmasters maybe has a certain style that's suggested from it, this overwrought, overacted style. I'm not a fan of it, but what I do know when I look at the current champion, the incredible Verity Price, so I've been lucky enough, I've known her for years, she's amazing, and I've been lucky enough to share the stage with her, is what's the difference here between her world champion of public speaking presentation and when she's just presenting normally? Check this out.
I never dreamed I would turn 40, unmarried, no children, and living in my sister and brother-in-law's spare room.
It was about halfway through this, I was arm deep in water. And I looked up the alleyway of our house and I saw that our next door neighbor was doing exactly the same thing. Except he was wearing what I can best describe as a flesh-colored onesie.
You see the difference? Toastmasters public champion, award-winning Verity was maybe a little bit overwrought and maybe performing for the competition that she was in. But natural on stage Verity is, natural on stage Verity, and that's great. She's dinner party Verity. She's telling a story, and it's fantastic. The problem is that I do often see a lot of Toastmaster speakers on stages that I can spot straight away. What am I saying here? Am I saying that you should join? Absolutely. It's a resounding yes. That organization is fantastic and will raise the bar of every presentation, toast, speech that you will ever be called on to give. It will help you run more effective meetings, and it is definitely the call to action of this video. I want you to look into getting out there and getting to a local Toastmasters club.
So just do it!
Is it perfect? No. And what I do want you to do, no matter what you're doing when you're delivering, I want you to remember that public speaking in the real world sense isn't a sport. It is a craft, and I want you to craft that dinner party version of you and make sure you never lose yourself, the best version of yourself in the process. Of course, we'd also love to help you. We have our public speaking program, Story to Stage, and we have our general presentation program, of which there's monthly open groups that you can come out and join. 3 days of writing, designing, and delivering, where we'll help ramp you up. If any of those interest you, there'll be links down below. But please do definitely go from this video, go to Toastmasters International, and find a chapter near you and show up. The first session is definitely free. You don't have to pay for anything. It will change the way you speak. Just don't lose yourself and lead loud.